Don, thanks for taking time to visit with us today. One of the things that you can speak with such power is hospitals, and you've worked in hospitals your whole life. And interestingly enough, people in our country think hospitals make money hand over fist. Is that true?
That happens not to be true. I can understand why they think that, because the costs are so high, but the fact of the matter is that over a third of the hospitals in the United States last year lost money. And those who did make money averaged 2.5%. And 2.5% really isn't enough to even cover the cost of money. So I can understand why they think that, but it's not true.
In light of healthcare reform, which comes on full force January 1st, 2014, how does the challenge of hospital finance affect the ability to buy new equipment, to educate the nurses, to do the other important things that hospitals must do to maintain their quality?
Well, obviously it's going to make it much more difficult. The ability to cost shift will probably be much less than it is presently, and right now this hospital is losing $2,000 per Medicare patient, and we believe that Medicare reimbursement will be the new norm. So obviously currently the hospital will have to take more cost out of the system as it exists, and so it will just be much more difficult. And then part of the formula in the new legislation calls for bundled pricing, which means there will be one rate for both the doctor and the hospital services. And that will exacerbate the situation too, as far as being able to produce enough money off of operations to do anything special.
Hospitals have had three legs on the financing stool. There's been revenues, there's been bonds, and there's been philanthropy. And philanthropy's always been appreciated, but has not been the most solid of all those legs. We've always relied on revenues and on bonds. What role does philanthropy play in a healthcare reformed United States and in Irving?
I've been very sensitive to that over the course of my career, and I worked in 3 military hospitals, and I've been in dozens of governmental hospitals. And there's really not much difference between them. Thank God they're there, but the fact of the matter is that there are no real distinguishing factors. And healthcare, just like education or other societal institutions that we consider to be great, always have to have outside support. There's not enough opportunity off of the earnings that you receive to distinguish yourself. So it's been my feeling for a long, long time that philanthropy is the key to whether or not a hospital excels and whether or not it can do things that are above and beyond the commonplace. So I think that it's very important.
Don, we pride ourselves on never violating anyone's privacy in their giving, especially individuals, without their permission. If we never talk about a gift without the donor's permission, but you and Norma have been very gracious to let us talk about your gift to the A Matter of Life campaign. Tell us why that was important for you to consider when you were looking at your giving over the next several years.
For several reasons, John. I've always been impressed by what Churchill said, is that we make a living by what we get, and we make a life by what we give. The commitment that we have made to those things that we've been involved in, whether it's been our schools or whether it has been the other things that we have committed to, we have tried to support them to the extent that we can. And this hospital is not only dear to our heart, but it is so important to this community. It's one of the things that distinguishes whether or not the quality of life in a community is excellent or whether it's average. And I've also been impressed by the fact that this hospital, as most hospitals, has to bill $350,000 in patient charges in order to produce $10,000 in profit. So that's like $1 million in patient charges to produce $25,000. So whereas we and many and probably most people cannot commit $1 million, We can't give that much, but we can help that much.
Great way of looking at that. That's spectacular. Thank you for letting us talk with you today, and we appreciate you and Norma so much. We appreciate the role that you've played in shaping this hospital, and we wish you could be with us at this luncheon, but anyway, we're so thankful that you took this time.
I'm very sorry that we couldn't be here, but I'm glad I could be here in this way.
Thank you.